Okay, good afternoon, all. I welcome you all for today's second session of FDP on diagnostic maintenance of mechanical systems. Today's second speaker is Dr. IRN Gowder sir, who is a retired senior scientist, National Aerospace Laboratories, Bengaluru, to share his knowledge on e-resources in engineering sciences. Sir has done their PhD in library and information science and has 40 years of rich professional experience and has served in prestigious institutions like NAL Bengaluru, IIT Chennai, CFTRI Mysore, etc. I welcome you, sir, for today's session.
One minute. I'm
Over to you, sir.
yeah, 1 minute. Can you see my video?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Sir, please raise your volume, sir. The volume is little low.
Okay, 1 minute. Now, can you hear me? 1 minute. 1 minute. I will have to do some setting. Just wait for a minute. I'll come.
Okay, sir.
ಇಲ್ಲ Hello.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Is it very clear or still volume is required?
Yes, it's clear to me.
Okay, that's fine. Then we can start.
Yes, sir.
Okay. It would have keep it there. Okay. Good morning. I know I'm telling good morning. Myself being in Germany, here it is just about 7:30 only. Well, at the very outset, let me thank the organizers, specifically Dr. Guru Pawan, for having invited me to deliver a talk, and that too in a very specialized FDP on diagnostic maintenance of machine tools. I was just wondering in what way I'm concerned with this topic, but naturally, some of us we talk on some topics which are of interest to any discipline on the earth. In fact, I have to take it in that sense. But anyway, what I would be doing is while initially I will be sharing the screen and go through some PPTs for about maybe about an hour or so, and then I will switch over to the browser and go online and try to give demonstrations on a number of resources which I felt that are useful for you people. And that too, what I'll be doing is I'll be taking some search examples which are useful for you. What I have done is I have gone through the list of speakers' topics. I have picked up some keywords from their talks and I'll be searching on those topics. In that way, this will be complementing you for your present FDP facilities or whatever you call. Okay. Now I will start sharing my screen. Can you see the PPT?
Yes, sir. PPT is, yes, sir.
Okay.
PPT is visible.
Okay, thank you. I am also audible, isn't it?
Yes, sir, you're audible clearly.
Okay, fine. Right. Uh, the topic assigned to me is e-resources in engineering sciences. Uh, as I just now told, I'll be going through some PPTs for about an hour or so, and then another half an hour or so, I'll be going online and try to give demos on some of the e-resources, taking the example of the topics of this particular FDP, that is diagnostic maintenance of machine tools. I have chosen some keywords from the speaker's titles, and that I'll be using in my talk. The research process, I'm not going to talk about the research process itself. I'm going to only sell that irrespective of the stage of your research, it could be defining a research problem or reviewing the literature or formulating the hypothesis, or research designing, collecting the data, or analyzing data, or interpreting the report or whatever it is, and then publishing uh, the paper. You need e-resources at every stage of your research. So uh, I may not be in a position to explain every stage where e-resources are required, but generally I'll be going. Why we need to go for e-resources? There are a good number of reasons for us. Usually, being electronic, up-to-date resources are very much available all the time, much more earlier to the printed ones. In fact, a number of publishers have discontinued their printing of their journals, etc. They are all online. It's a question of convenience of use as well. You can portable and you can access it through mobiles. It's a boon for the visually challenged reader. And there are extra features like you can search the databases, or you can link to the other databases, and you can also use the cut and paste facilities, and um, most of the e-resources are interactive in nature. Suppose an article is there, below that there are a good number of references cited. You can directly click on to the reference cited and then go to the full text of that particular article. So in that way, there are n number of advantages. The resources are usually listed in your library site. In fact, my friend Mr. Kodandram has done a good job, and he has done. You can access a good number of e-resources, especially the ones available through VTU consortia. I'll be talking about that as well. But here is an example of MIT Libraries research guides. If you simply go to MIT Libraries and then click on to the research guides, you will find this particular page. You can see here on the left side, you have got a topic guide. You click on to any one of them, including your mechanical engineering, somewhere it could be down. And then it will list out all the e-resources available, both subscribed as well as open access. So in that way, you can make use of this. MIT Libraries is just an example. There are many other libraries who have done this sort of job. E-resources for the Indian academic and research community. Commercial and society publications are usually made through one's own research, funding, or through consortia like eShodha Sindhu. I know engineering colleges are not eligible to make use of this, but still I would like to mention about that for the simple reason that they would be very useful to you. When I go through the site, etc., you will come to know about it. Then VTU consortium, well, that's a good attempt, and you have been given access to a good number of resources, which I'll be talking about it. Okay. This is the screenshot of eShodha Sindhu. It's a consortia supported by MHRD, maintained by InflipNet, and good number of resources, like you can see here, very useful resources like ACM Digital Library or American Physical Society, and some of the well-known publishers sources are also there. But unfortunately, due to the lack of funding, for the last 2-3 years, they have discontinued these important sources like Science Direct or Institute of Physics, Blackwell, some journals, etc. But these are the left side. You have got the list of resources available for the people. Why I am mentioning this is some of you may be doing PhD, say Mysore University, or somebody is doing PhD in Bangalore University. In spite of yourself being a faculty member or the research scholar from an engineering college, you can use the credentials of Mysore University or some other university, and you can make use of these resources and search these resources and download full text wherever it is. For example, here is an ASME journals online, but unfortunately, ASME journals online is not available for all the institutions. Some 300 institutions or so, but unfortunately, for only few institutions in the country. National Digital Library of India. This is a good attempt by IIT Kharagpur, with more than 75 million items or so in almost 70 languages and 60 types of learning resources. This is the list of PES College of Engineering e-resources provided through VTU Consortia, like IEEE POP, that is a Proceedings Order Plan, which gives access to the full texts of many conference proceedings, IEEE conference proceedings, etc. Then you have got access to 296 journals, 2010 onwards of Elsevier's Science Direct. Apart from this, I will be also going, you have access to only these. But interestingly, when I search Elsevier Science Direct, there will be a number of e-journals which are open access in nature, which are indexed by Elsevier. I will go online and try to show you how to go about it. All the resources, whatever you are getting through VTU Consortia, anyway, you are eligible and you must be familiar with that. But I will go beyond that, how to make use of different publishers and see whether they have got some open access content. Even if there is no open access content, how to go about it. I will try to explain those things to you when I go online. Then you have got access to Springer Nature with 690 journals, Taylor and Francis 555 journals, Emerald 120 journals. ProQuest is an aggregator. This 3009 FT journals, and Nimbus, you have got 5700 journals. Anyway, these are not Nimbus journals, whatever they are giving, they are not that important, but it serves as a media for you to search the resources what you want. Apart from that, I know already you are familiar with Turnitin, which Kodanram is already giving the service to you to check the plagiarism and other things. Even the faculty members are also eligible to make use of this on their own. VTU, in fact, when VTU was not subscribing to IEEE, and I made a detailed study and got some statistics, the importance of IEEE sources from the point of view of VTU. You can see here there were in 2015, just in my 9 months, 558,000 downloads. Likewise, in 2019, just in 4 months, there were 575,000 these things. Okay, but unfortunately, initially VTU people, they gave access, and later on they could withdraw, quoting the reason that funds problem, etc. But anyway, I made some noise, and some principals also gave a representation to VTU, and at last they have given access to POP, but not all. VTU Consortium, I have got some observations and suggestions, which of course I did in my earlier talk also. It's a well-funded funding model is good, and but unfortunately, VTU Consortia leaders never made any survey sort of thing. Survey in the sense, when you start a consortia, to subscribe to the content, and that to commercial publishers' content, you need to make a survey. and take the help of the librarians and make a survey. What are the resources useful from their point of view, etc. They did not do. They simply, with some committee, they did something like that. And initially, they gave access to ASME and ASC, and that was discontinued. Again, they have revised it, and that sort of things are there. So let me not concentrate. But anyway, so resources as of now, they are okay, not that bad. But unfortunately, uh, the training program given by VTU people is not that good. But I'm happy that individual librarians are taking care of that. Open now, I would like to concentrate on open access content from commercial publishers. Commercial publishers, if you pay, anyway you will have access. But if you can't pay, there are a good number of commercial publishers have certain percentage of content which is available through open access channels. Here is Science Direct. You are aware that you have got access to some 296 channels or so. But when I searched Science Direct and sources I searched, and there were about 1097 journals covered by Science Direct, which are open access in nature. So that means if you search Science Direct, any content that comes out of these 1097 journals, you can access irrespective of whether you are subscribing to Science Direct or not. It doesn't matter. Okay. Here is a statistics. This is a bit old statistics, but don't bother about this figure. It is only indicative. For example, if you look into engineering, it covers 433 journals on engineering, out of which 107 are in open access. In that way, and apart from that, all the journals, even if some journals are not available in open access channel, a portion of that, using the APC charging model, they'll suppose in a particular issue there are say some 12 articles, out of which there could be some 2 or 3 articles which are available in open access, because those are published by some authors who have paid APC charges. By paying APC charges, they have enabled their particular publication and open access. That's how the things work. Okay. Now coming to Springer Link, it covers more than 3,700 journals, and quite a good number of journals are also available. Not only journals, even the books are available open access. I will go online and explain you that. These are the Springer this thing. For example, mechanical engineering, you see 37 journals it publishes in mechanical, out of which 5 journals are available in open access. Okay. T&F, this is also available through VTU Consortia, but I will also go through this and try to give some demo if the time permits, and see how to access the open access content of these commercial publishers like T&F or Elsevier, etc. T&F statistics you can see here, Taylor and Francis. Engineering, there are 313 journals, out of which 30 are available in open access. For example, if you see the number of articles, this is 549,000 journals, out of which 14,000 are available in open access. IEEE Explore, this is a very, very important source for not only for electronics and electrical communication people, but it's also useful for all the disciplines of engineering, including mechanical engineering. Because there will be applications of electronics for mechanical, say mechatronics, anyway, you are aware of that. So this only shows, for example, these many journal items are available at that particular time, and out of which these anywhere that 73,000 were available in open access. We can try Explore. IEEE Explore is a platform which is available for free. That means you can search the database free of charge, but only when you want to access the full text of any article which are retrieved out of that, if you are subscribing to that particular journal, or particular conference proceedings, then you will get the access to the full text. Otherwise, no. But there are other parts, that is OA content as well. You can explore that as well. Okay. Now coming to ASE, American Society for Civil Engineers. This publishes 42 journals and 778 conference proceedings and these many ebooks and so 138 standards. I did some experiment yesterday and today, and it's quite good. You can search all these sources at one go using its search engine. I am on the search engine page itself. If you just put AAC, you won't get this. You put AAC library, or you go to AAC site and then go for library, wherein you get some, search phase page, wherein you can put your keywords or anything of that kind. You can restrict the search to the journals or books or proceedings, or you can search all of them and see to what extent you have got access to some articles or whatever it is. And because these are available, some of them are available to you through VTU Consortium. Naturally, whenever you search something on AAC, if you click onto that, the full text automatically throws up. Even if you don't have access to that, if the certain content is available open access, you can happily access the full text. Coming to ASME, this is a very, very important source from the audience point of view, this particular FDP audience point of view. ASME publishes 36 journals. It has got very wonderful features. You can see when I clicked on to the find journal, it lists out all the journals. But other interesting features are there, like for example, ASME digital collections. You simply go to ASME site, click on to ASME digital collections, and then there are so many journal articles. That's 116,000 journal articles and ebooks, so many chapters are there. Conference pressings are 164,000, and very interestingly, they have indexed the images which come as a part of journal articles. They are much bigger in number. There is 615,000 this thing. Out of total 9 lakhs and odd, 6 lakh images are there which are part of journal articles. You can search these things and click on to just to see from where this particular image has been taken out. You can click on to that particular article and go to the article and read it. So that sort of things are there. So in this, you have a facility for searching, both advanced as well as general searching. You can put your keywords or title words or something of that kind. You can search as well. Very, very interesting thing. There is a feature called Find Contents in ASME itself, which gives the latest trends in mechanical engineering, including biomedical and medical energy, technology in society, robotics, materials, student support, business, and the career support and advanced manufacturing. If you go to this, more than 2,800 such find contents items which are very, very interesting and very, very useful for both students' point of view as well as the teachers' point of view. Now coming to ACM Digital Library, it covers apart from 50 ACM journals, other journals as well, millions of articles you can access. You can searching the digital library is not a problem. Simply put ACM Digital Library in the Google and you can search. Only thing is when it comes to the question of accessing the full text, unless you have access to ACM journals, you will not get the full text. This is the Scopus sources. You can see here. These figures are a bit old. Now the figures are much bigger. Out of all subjects together, 42,000 sources are there. Like one journal is one source. Out of that, more than 5,000 are open access. If you come to the engineering side, 4,687 items are there, and out of which 517 are in open access. Okay. I'll be going online and explaining that. Now, let me just say a little bit about the tools which are citation-based, which give it citation-based indicators, as well as which allows you to search the literature based on the citations. Coming to Web of Science, it covers more than 21,000 peer-reviewed journals, etc. Scopus covers nearly 23,000 journals. And Google Scholar, there is no limit at all. There is another good source, Cite. This is basically an citation database which covers about 97 million articles and 940 million citation statements. This is, when I say citation statement, this is a very good meaning. I'll explain it in the next one or two slides. What do you mean by it? Okay, I will explain that as well. Coming to JGET Plus with more than 51,000 journals, there is something called Chinese National Knowledge Infrastructure. This is a wonderful database which many of the Indian researchers never visited. I will try to go online and try to search CNKI as well. Web of Science, this is the screenshot of Web of Science. These are some statistics concerned to Scopus. So Scopus subject-wise coverage, you can see here, if you go to engineering, these many items, and out of which these many are journals. This is the screenshot of Cite. This is basically a citation database. This is very wonderful. It's a platform for discovering and evaluating scientific articles via smart citations. What do you mean by smart citations? I'll explain that. Smart citations allow the users to see how a publication is in the context of citation. For example, I'll show you. You can see here the statistics: 940 million citation statements. I have not yet explained what you mean by citation statements. So with an example, I will explain in the later style. These are the advantages of Cite over Scopus and Web of Science. You get so a citation statement, whereas Scopus or Web of Science, they don't give. They only give the citations, but they don't give the citation statements. Okay. There are other advantages. I will not go through that. JGET Plus, which covers about 53,000 journals. Probably JGET Plus is the database covering highest number of journals in the world. No other database in the world covers as many journals as covered by JGET Plus. Unfortunately, the VTU consortia people have never considered to subscribe to this. It is very unfortunate that it's not just because Indian or something like that. This is a very nicely covering so many journals, and so out of which you have some Indian journals, etc. And this JGET Plus also gives 85% of the citations covered by Cite. Just now I told you about the Cite. I will explain that. Okay, I'll try to go online and try to give some examples here. This is a JGET indexed peer-reviewed journals. So many. If you go to engineering, you can see here worldwide it covers more than 4,500. Actually, it must be more now. 4,500 journals or so. Out of which almost 50% of them are available in open access channels, and it covers 685 journals in engineering area, and out of which almost 2/3 journals are open access. That means if there are 53,000 journals, almost 50% of them are in open access. Suppose you subscribe to JGET Plus. You subscribe to JGET Plus. That means when you search JGET Plus, whether you subscribe any journal or not, at least you can search all the 53,000 through a single platform, search at one go, and click on to the items which are available in open access channels. Even if you are not subscribing any of them, you will have access to almost 50% of the literature. Here is what I did is I did a search on JGET on a topic COVID-19. Okay, I found that there were more than 272,000 papers, out of which so many are 180,000 are in open access. You can see here this is the total number of papers. which I retrieved searching through JGate on COVID-19. And out of that, full text are available 1,80,000. That means if I click onto this, down below, whatever is listed, you can see the abstracts. You can go to the PDF of some concerned journal. But what it does, what I did is I took an example of JGate search. So this particular article, immune system and COVID-19 by somebody. Okay. Down below, there is a citation statement. This is taken by site database, SCIT hyphen. Okay, you can see here, and this is the recent development of JGate. Probably no other database, including Scopus, does this job. What do you mean by this 6, 7, 5, and 0? I will let you know with the next screen. Okay, you can see here this particular item is has seen say, citing papers 6, and 6 papers are supporting the findings of this particular article, and 5 articles have just mentioned about this particular item. That means you don't have to put much effort in evaluating the article. Suppose you are doing your PhD and you want to do the literature review. Which one to really refer, which one to read further. When you search on something, say Google Scholar, you will find thousands and thousands of articles. So if you then you will not be in a position to give justice, because you can't go through entire list of all the articles, even if you spend 2-3 years to read all the articles. So how nice it would be if somebody evaluates the content of that, whatever items have come, and give you the report. This is what exactly is done by site, and that with the in combination with the JGate, you can as well do that. How they do it? In fact, I read through their site, and I found that they use some sort of artificial intelligence, which makes so many combinations and so many things it does, and finds whether it is supporting. Some finding is there, whether the particular next citing article is supporting the findings of the present the referred article or not, or sometimes contrasting also could be there. Even that will be indicated. So you can decide what to read and what not to read, what to include for your literature review. This is a screenshot of a Chinese national knowledge infrastructure. It's a wonderful database which covers almost 90% of the literature published by Chinese faculty or scientists or whatever it is, irrespective of where a particular article is published, whether it's Chinese journal or somebody, some other publisher's journal, it doesn't matter. It covers all of them, including it also covers the thesis, the conference items, and lot many other things, which probably I'll try to go online and show you the things. Such a kind of effort we really need. National Digital Library of India is doing something, but not the way the CNKI, that is China National Knowledge Infrastructure, is doing. We really need a service of this kind for our country as well. Now I will touch upon Pirate Bay of Science, and here is a screenshot of Sci-Hub. You're aware of that, and but unfortunately, it so happens this is a controversial site, but a good effort by Alexandra Albakin, a lady, a neurologist, also a computer scientist, who rebelled against these commercial publishers and set up this Sci-Hub, which gives access to more than 85 million, 1 million equal to 10 lakh. Just imagine the craze and the sort of effort this lady has put. And she is also facing a lot of lawsuits against these publishers like Elsevier or Chemical Abstracts or something of that kind. In fact, she lost a case in US court, but it is on and on, but nobody, the Sci-Hub is still available. Even today I did some search, I found that it is useful, but not all the content is available like earlier because of some other problems, but almost, I should say, 70 to 80% of the literature, whatever you search, you will get the full text access through this Sci-Hub. Whether to use it or not, I will not advise you. It is left up to you. Even the court case is there in Delhi High Court. The chemical abstracts and the Elsevier people have gone against this. The academic community and scientific community is supporting this lady, and still the court case is going on. I don't know what is going to happen, but anyway, site is on and on. If you want, you can make use of that. I will try to explain it how it works. There are similar sites for ebooks like LibGenesis or BookFi for books, etc. Jet Library for again books. PDF Drive for again books. Open access. I'll come to open access sources now. I have listed the open access sources for different types of documents like ETDs, electronic thesis and dissertations, ebooks, e-journals, e-reports, e-standards, e-patents, and open educational resources. I'll just show the list, but I may explain one or two sources only because lack of time. This is not FDP only on e-resources. Okay, this is the list of thesis ETDs databases. International level, there is a NDLTD. Again, at international level, there is a BASE, Bielefeld Academic Search. And I'm really fond of this. This figure is wrong. This is something like 11.7 million. Now, I will explain that and try to visit that site and do some search for you. And of course, we have got our own Shodhaganga. This is the screenshot of Bielefeld Academic Search Engine, which gives access to more than 274 million items, out of which 11 million are theses submitted to various universities in the world. That is the case, okay, including India. Okay, this is our own Shodhaganga. Very good effort from Implement people. One of the very well structured database in many ways compared to many other similar efforts in the world. I think ours is one of the best one, but still we need to strengthen it from the point of view of populating it, because not all the library universities have signed, and somewhere around 500 universities have signed an agreement with them, and not all the signed people are universities are uploading all the items. Initially, the Implement people themselves used to give some support to universities, but nowadays they stopped giving support. Only thing is, universities themselves should spend some money for this activity for uploading the thesis. Unfortunately, it's not the case. Some of the universities are very active and they are doing a good job. Okay, coming to ebook sources, there is something called Directory of Open Access Books, Project Gutenberg, and Jet Library, and many other things are there. You don't worry about, I can't read all these things because of the lack of time. I will try to share the PPT with the organizers. You may like to have it, or you can send a mail to me. If you simply search Gowder Library, you will get my email credentials, etc. Should not be a problem for me to send you the PPTs. This is the screenshot of Directory of Open Access Books. It gives access to almost, I should say, some nearly 45,000 books from nearly 500 publishers. Okay, this number is a little bit old one, so don't go by it. If you visit the site, you will come to know how many books it's giving access. Project Gutenberg, this is a wonderful project in the name of Gutenberg, the inventor of printing press. It gives access to almost 60,000 free ebooks. Even the books which have been published very recently, you can have the full text access, thanks to the cooperation of many publishers, important publishers who share their content through this project Gutenberg. You can go to this, you can browse the titles, you can search the titles, then you can have the full text access as well. Open education resources and types. There are So many OERs, not just even in India, we have got so many OERs activities. They are very good one. What all coming under the heading OERs, I can tell you. It could be open text or online courses or lecture notes or videos, audios, animation, and so many. The OERs has got a 5R statement, that is, you can retain, that's make, own, or control the copies. You can reuse them, use in a wide range of ways, for example, in a class and a study group, like that, and you can revise them. You can revise the content, what is available, and then adopt and adjust and modify for your requirement. You can also remix, that is, combine the original or the revised content with other open content. Redistribute. You got from somebody, you can give it to somebody else. That's what. Open education resources and materials, I have made a list of them here. Something called OpenStax, Open Textbook Library, Milne Open Textbooks, Scholarly Works CVSU, and so many are there. But here's the one which really attracted me. Merlot, Multimedia Educational Resource for Learning and Online Teaching. This is some sort of a common search engine for so many OERs, including many of these sources. So I'll try to go online by visiting Merlot and try to make some search. And I found there were good items. For example, yesterday I was looking at it. I was searching on machine vision and many other topics, including the diagnostic maintenance, etc. There were a good number of items which have been indexed by Merlot, and which leads you to the concerned original course or whatever it is. MIT Open Course. Well, this is a wonderful source. Many of you may be using that. This is open courseware. Of course, this is there for years and years. Very well-known courseware, very well organized course content, etc. You can see here, if you go to their site and you click on to find courses under Course Finder by topic. If you click on to engineering, it will list out the sub topics under engineering. If you click on to mechanical engineering, it will list out further sub divisions of mechanical engineering, like dynamics, fluid mechanics, or mechanical design, like that. If you click on to any one of them, you down below, you can see here the list of the courses available. You can see there. Courses may be at different level. It could be undergraduate level or graduate level. You can click on to those courses. Then you will have the course lectures, the assignments, and so many things you'll be seeing that. Probably I will try to give demo of MIT Open Courseware, but not through this one. I will come through the other source, like Open Textbook Library. This is one good source for the textbooks set up by University of Minnesota, and the books are in different subject areas, open textbooks. Merlot, I was mentioning you about multimedia educational resources for learning and an online training. That is Merlot. This is set up by California State University, and this is the URL of that. You visit that, and you will get this landing page, starting page. Then you can search that, and you can see here these many items are there, different kinds of items are there. It provides access to the curated online learning and support material and the content creation tools. I repeat, it provides access to curated online learning and support material. They have more than 25 to 30 editorial committees covering different subject areas. Whatever content they index, it goes through this committee, and they give their construed opinion about that, and then only they add to this Merlot. So in that way, it's a curated one. 20 material types like animation, case studies, etc. You can see the levels are at all the levels, from KG level to professional level, PhD level. You can see The disciplines covered are these many. You can see number of items: science and technology, more than 50,000. Each item it could be one course like that. Okay, this is the Merlat statistics. You can see here, learning resources are more than 96,000, and 188,000 are registered members, and member institutions are more than 4,000, and recent contributors are these many. Anybody can become the member of Merlat. You simply visit Merlat and you give your credentials, and you can become the member of Merlat. Even without becoming a member of Merlot, you can search. That should not be a problem. By becoming the member of Merlot, you will have some advantages. Intake Open, this is another source. What they say is, we are on the journey to democratize the knowledge. This is what is the statement, the mission statement of this Intake Open. And it's actually built by scientists for scientists. So many open access books, they also give calculation in what way they can save the money, etc. Internet Archive. In most of my talks, especially on e-resources, I usually touch upon this Internet Archive, and this is one of the biggest archival database available on in the world. For example, yourself being, most of them being from Mandya or nearby engineering college or Karnataka, you are aware that if you want to search for something, or if you want a document or a book on the history of, say, Mysore, if the history of Mysore, say Tipu Sultan, something, somebody is doing research on that, or some other history, even for that matter, even on mechanical engineering, there could be some publications of the books which will give you a very good thought when you are doing search, you are doing literature search, you are tracing the history of development of mechanical engineering and some topics out of that. Probably you can get a lot of stuff in this. I will go online and show you. When I searched mechanical engineering, I found quite a good number of items tracing back to 1800. That is 19th century beginning itself. I will go online and try. Definitely I will go online. I won't miss this. Then open access journals, databases, and repositories. That is actually there are a good number of sources. One of the important one is DOAJ, Director of Open Access Journals. You can simply put Director of Open Access Journals in what you call Google, and you will land up in DOAJ. And there are other things as well. Even in India, we have got CSR and SK journals are openly available. And Springer OA journals, engineering, you can see this. And a lot many things are there. Okay. This is the screenshot of Director of Open Access Journals. And you can search journals, or you can search journal articles, put your keywords and get into this. The number of journals is something around 1,600. Actually, it could be more now if I go there. You can search them. Whatever you search on any topic, you are sure to get the full text of that, because this device covers only open access journal, no other things. That means you can rely on this, and you can make use of DOAJ. DOAJ doesn't cover everything under the sun. They also do some sort of evaluation. They have got their own certain set criteria to index in DOAJ. So some sort of quality check is there. So you can go with the DOAJ for your search as well. Google Scholar, one of the biggest tool in the world for searching the scholarly literature. There have been so many comments, and UGC gives comments, and AICTE gives comments. Whatever is covered by Google Scholars, Google Scholar citation, we don't count, etc. But I don't agree with them totally. There are good things, there are bad things out of Google Scholar. But 90-95% are good thing with Google Scholar. This functionality, the way it does, etc. I will explain it when I go online on the Google Scholar. Definitely I'll be doing that. Core, connecting the repositories. Many universities in the world, thousands and thousands of universities, say for example, more than 10,000 data providers, they have set up their own institutional repository. That means covering their own institutional publications. These are indexed by core. You can search at one go for searching the content of so many repositories set up in the world. CNK I already explained. Carrot 2 cluster engine. This is another very interesting thing. If you go to Carrot 2 cluster engine, you can search any topic. For example, I searched vernacular architecture, and I found that they were organized under different headings. Different headings and number of articles for each of these things you can find. You can also convert that into a nice Venn diagram or something like that, pictorial presentation of the results. I don't think I will be in a position to give demo of that. Now coming to sources and technical reports. Yourself being in engineering area, technical reports are very important sources for you. There are so many sources like OSTI, government, or NTRL, National Technical Report Library, NTIS, and NASA's Technical Report Server, NTRS. Simply put NTRS in a Google, go and search NTRS, which is free of charge. And 50 to 60% of the items, what you get out of your search, you will definitely have the access to the full text. Okay. Likewise, NTIS is another US funded work, and you can search the technical reports. NTRS screenshot looks like this. NASA STI repository. Okay. Important industrial property office like US Patent Office or Chinese National Intellectual Property Administration or European Patent Office. These are all the sources for the patents, etc. You can, if you want to really see, if you are, suppose you have done some research, as a result you have come out with some product or process and you want to file a patent. Before doing that, you can see whether any patent is there in US Patent Office, this collection, or even for that matter, even in India, the Patent Office has set up a very good source for that. You can as well do that. That should not be a problem at all. You can search the earlier, the Indian Patent Office was a very badly organized setup, but there has been a lot of improvement, and all the full text of all the patents filed are accepted. You can search, you can download the patents, absolutely no problem on that now. IP databases, the patent scope or global brand database or something of that kind. Okay. Google patents also, you can make use of that. You can search Google patents. You can search all country patents going through Google patents. Indian Patent Advanced Search System. This is what I was telling you. InPass. If you go to InPass and you can search on any topic of your choice and then see whether there are any patents, if there are any patents, whether the patent, whatever they have already got approval, etc., whether is it the same thing what you have done? Yeah, are you repeating that? Or if you want to go for filing the patent, in what way you can make it further improvement, etc., and try to make it as an independent invention for you to file a patent. Okay. Standards and specifications. There are many standards organizations like IEEE standards or ANSI standard, or even for that matter ASME standards, ASCE standards. Lot many sources are there, but unfortunately most of them are not available free of charge. You'll have to give money. There is no hardly any, not even 1% standards probably are freely available the open access channel. But how to search them? Here is the one IHS standard store. This is like a market, like a supermarket. You go to IHS standard store and you can search. Yeah, this is the screenshot of ANSI, American National Standards Institute. IHS Market, they call this is a standard store. It's a like a your big bazaar or big market or something of that kind, you can go to this and search for any standard, and you can order through them. It searches all different standards issued by different agencies. Okay, there are preprint repositories or IRs. For example, archive.org. Even for engineering archive is there. You can go to. I would like to stress something on these archives. When you are, suppose you have already published an article in a journal, you can as well deposit or upload your article in your own institutional repository, provided the copyright policy of that journal allows. Otherwise, also, most of the publishers, including Elsevier people, they allow you to upload, where you give it for, you submit your article, then it goes through review process and it comes back to you with suggestions, and then you come out with the final FTP PDF. And before publishing, whatever is the corrected one, reviewed, peer-reviewed PDF, we can happily upload onto your own institutional repository. That it should not be a problem at all. Most of the publishers have adopted this policy. Archive.org, this is one thing which is very interesting thing. Artificial intelligence, computation language. This is the first ever archive set up in the world. You can search a lot many. You can see here the subjects covered. You can see here. Okay, engineering archive. You can covering featuring these subjects like material science or mechanical engineering as well. Okay, eFunda, engineering fundamentals. Simply put eFunda in the Google, you will get into this site. And this is the one probably which the very first class you conduct for undergraduate students, probably you should show them this particular source. All fundamentals, engineering fundamentals, you can, any definition of something, anything concerned with the materials, some definitions, some description, design center or unit conversions, formulas, many things you can find in eFunda. Resources for journal selection. You suppose your article is ready for publishing, then you will be feeling you don't know to which journal you should submit. Okay, you will get confused. If you are a beginner, probably you have feeling that no, these publishers may not accept my article. If you are a senior scientist, you may have some confidence. Okay, whatever I submit, even the Nature will publish. Okay, it all depends upon your confidence in the quality of your research. That's a different matter. So, to find an appropriate journal for publishing, which will take care of all sorts of requirements of your academic achievements, etc. Probably there are some sources which I'll be SCImago. I'll show the screenshots of SCImago Journal and Country Rank. If you simply visit SCImago Journal SJR, you will get into this site. And I try to go online. I am not listed here. SCImago. I try to give a demo of this as well. Okay. This source, e-source, you can use it for selecting the journal for publishing, depending upon your confidence and depending upon the quality of your publication. You can decide on that. Google Scholar Journal Matrix. This is another Google Scholar. It has got its own matrix called H5 index. You can go to the Google Scholar and see the list of this. And depending upon your own confidence, you can go for journal finders. Some of the publishers have put up their own journal finder sites. For example, Elsevier Journal Finder. You simply type your the title of your article and the abstract, copy and paste them, and click on to find journal. It will list out the journals wherein the possibility of yourself submitting your article it is thrown up. But it doesn't mean that it will accept your article. It is only based on the subject. Then the whole review process has to undergo. If it is acceptable to them, then only they will publish it. What has happened is this has become a big problem. For the last 15 to 20 years, this is like a big disease for our academic activities. Thanks to, I should say in the negative way, the UGC policy that before submitting your PhD thesis, you need to publish 2 journals, 2 articles. That led for a big number of articles, and so many publishers came out with their own journals, and they went on publishing this sort of low quality articles. Well, they are predatory in nature. There have been some efforts. One of the US librarian, one Bial, he really made a big study, and he had put up a website with giving the list of predatory journals and also a list of predatory publishers. It became a controversy, and he had to fight with these publishers. Ultimately, he had to take out his list, but that list, although he took out it from his site, the lists continue to be there in some way or the other, in an unknown way there. And one such is the list of predatory journals. Just put predatory journals in the Google, you will find it too. It has got all these things, list, alphabetical list as well as publisher wise list. Okay, you should avoid publishing this. Suppose your paper is ready and you want to publish in a particular article, particular journal, and if suppose it is listed in this list, it doesn't mean that it is not recognized by UGC CARE. I'll explain that. UGC CARE list is a very good initiative of the ex-vice chairman of UGC, Professor Patwardhan. He being at SPPU, that is Pune University, Savitribai Phule University, he could do this job. And even now, this is maintained by this UGC CARE, is part of SPPU University, and the site is set up. Anybody can become member of this. You can simply try to log in, give your credentials, and become member of this. Then once you become member of this, you don't have to give every time your login credentials. Simply, you want to publish your article in a particular journal. You simply type that article, that title here, and click onto the search. If it is covered by that, it will you can go ahead with that. Then only it will be counted for your promotion or assessment, or even for recruitment, etc. It will be useful. Actually, it has got 2 sets of lists. UGC CARE list 1, list prepared by the committee, and UGC list 2. Usually, this is the list of journals covered by Scopus and Web of Science. In the context of this predatory journal, I found a very interesting statement by Bernard DeVito, which says great journals are born in the hands of editors, they die in the hands of a businessman, which is really true. The flyby journals, we get a lot of mails from some publishers. I'm basically a library science man. I have got mails from some publishers which are publishing journals in mechanical engineering or even pharmacy area, etc. In what way I'm an expert on pharmacy? No. I get mails like that. This is the problem with these predatory publishers. There are n number of ways in identifying that, but that is not the occasion for me to go into too much details of predatory journals. The only thing is, before submitting any article to any this one, you please get it checked for plagiarism. In your case, PS Kodan Ram is, your librarian is very much involved in that, or even for that matter, you can do yourself as well. There is some database called Retraction Watch database. Suppose somebody has already published an article in a well-known journal of well-known publisher. After 2 years, somebody finds out that there's some problem with that, something is copied from something else which has not been cited properly, or there is some truth, there is something false claiming, somebody points out that, then the editorial committee makes a thorough search, a thorough investigation on that, and if they find it that yes, it's something wrong with that paper, they withdraw the paper. They retract the database. They don't withdraw that paper because it's already published. It is there. So in fact, if they were to take out the article, it would have been okay. But unfortunately, they don't do that. They leave it there, and along with the title, they mention that it is a retracted article. That's a much more insulting than taking out that, because whenever somebody searches on that particular topic, this also is thrown out, including in the indexing and abstracting services. When you try to read the article, on the top of it, you will find that the article is retracted. That's a bigger insult. So one has to be very careful if somebody is going in the wrong way. Indian e-learning platforms, engineering virtual labs, more than 100 virtual labs have been set up to do more than 700 experiments. This is a central government initiative. You can also see the broad areas of the virtual labs. You can see mechanical engineering also. There are quite a good number of virtual labs. If your institution doesn't have all the facilities to do some experiments, you can make use of this facility. Simply go to engineering virtual labs, NMEIT or something, Ministry of HRD. You will find this. This is vlabco.in. It will be listed. You'll see the list of the labs. Usually, most of them are from IITs, etc. ISTM is again government initiative, but set up by executed by IAC. They have made list of different, say for example, where you can get particular instrument, who are the publishers, or who are the vendors of that, and that sort of big information is available for all the scientific activity through this source. SWAYAM, you are aware of that. I will not go into the details of that. Vidyamitra is, I would like to mention that this is some sort of a common search engine for entire content of Indian initiatives. It could be your NPTEL or EPG Pathshala or any other source. All of them you can search through one site, Vidyamitra, and get into the full text or anything of that kind. Okay, IRINS. This is initiative of InfluMnet. Every institution is supposed to become member of that, and you will get a better visibility for your research if you set up IRINS, Mendeley, etc. Fine. Okay, with that, I would like to wind up my presentation. Now I will switch over to, I got some 25 minutes or so. Some 25 minutes or so. I will try to go online. See, I will switch over to some browser. Okay. Okay, now I'll start with the Google. Most of the time I will be starting with the Google. Initially, I'll start with SIMACO general ranking, which I thought I would not do, but I feel that I should do that. SIMACO. I will just type here. This is I just typed SIMACO. I found SIMACO general ranking site. This is useful for deciding when you are looking for a journal for publishing, which quality, etc. You can see journal ranking. So I would see, I'll show you, there are more than 32,000 items, and I would restrict it to not all, but only journals, journal category. Out of that, let me see how many are journals. Okay, there are 25,000. I will go for subject selection also. You can see here there are subjects. You can see select biochemistry, chemical engineering, chemistry, computer science, dentistry, engineering. Okay, I will click on to engineering. So then you may not be interested in all engineering journals. You may be interested in only in mechanical engineering. So subject categories within engineering, let me choose. Okay, different computer mechanics, control, engineering, mechanical engineering. Okay, I'll click on to mechanical engineering. So how many journals are there? There are 543 journals in mechanical engineering all over the world, published by different publishers. What they have done in SJR is they have arranged all these 543 journals in the decreasing order of SJR value. SJR is like an impact factor, but taking into account of 3 years data. So highest SJR is that of natural materials, advanced materials, etc. You can also rearrange it. If I click onto this, it will rearrange the list of these journals in the decreasing order of H index. So many criteria are there. Let me not get into the details of that. I would like to say that maybe if you are a research scholar, you may not be in a position to publish in top level international journal. So I would like to go for Indian journals. Let me see if there are any Indian journal in the area of mechanical engineering. I am searching through this Argentina. Okay, India. Oh, sorry, I don't know. It came Iceland. Okay. I will select India. Okay. Okay. How many are there? Yes, there are 9 journals in the area of mechanical engineering, which have been covered by Scopus. It only means that you can happily publish in any of these journals. Again, these are arranged in the decreasing order of SJR. Well, this is the top quality Indian journal among the Indian this one. Some international journal of vehicle structure, etc. If you see, you can see here Indian flag as well. So if I want to know the details of this one, simply click on to this particular one. So you will have the biodata of this particular journal, the subject areas covered, who is the publisher of this journal, and its homepage, etc. You click on to the this one, and you can as well go for that. Okay, now I'll go over to other sources like Google. I will start with the Google Scholar. I've taken some keywords from the. I will. I am with Google Scholar. I'll go to advanced search. So the topic I'm going to give demo is on condition monitoring. Condition monitoring. I will search only the title, not anywhere. If you restrict the search to the title, the relevance will be more. Instead of getting thousands, you will get few hundreds, maybe. It will be very handy for you to. Okay. See. Okay. I got initially some books are there. Okay. How many items? There are 18,000 items on condition monitoring. Okay. Here, let me see about this. So you can see here, there is a one link here. With every this one, there may not be link. Only one link is there. If I click onto this, if you find any link on the right side of this list, you take it granted that this has got access to the full text. I will do that. So I will click onto this. See, the full text is getting downloaded. So you have got the full text of that as well. Now, if there is no full text, what should I do that? Okay, this is an item. Here is an item, for example. Oh, this is an Elsevier item. Let me click onto this. Okay, see, I am clicking onto it, but there is no access to the full text at all. I have gone to the Elsevier site. And if I click onto the full text, it will ask me to pay some 25 or 30 or even $50, which I can't. So what I can do is I simply copy. Okay, it came up. I'm copying. Link address DY. Please remember that most of the publishers are giving the DY link. So try to copy the DY link. Okay. After copying the DY link, then go to Sci-Hub. I don't say that you should do that, but I am doing and showing how you can do that. Sci-Hub, many times the address keeps on changing. Don't bother about if you search Sci-Hub in Google, somewhere you will get into this. So I have already copied Elsevier's some journal DY link. I am just pasting it, that one here. See here. So that's it. Otherwise, you would have paid. You can simply download this and use it for your research. So that's how we can do. You can come from Google Scholar, or for that matter, any other source. It doesn't matter. You can go to Sci-Hub and download. Once again, I would like to say that using or not using it is left up to you. I will not go into the details of that at all. Okay. Now I will go to Science Direct, publishers of is a platform of Elsevier, which gives access to the Elsevier content. You can search on any topic. You can do that. That should not be a problem. What I will do is I will search. I'll go to advanced search in that. Usually, try to search always use advanced search. For example, I will try to search the title area, title or abstract area. What the topic I've chosen is diagnostic maintenance. DIAGNO MAINTEN. I am typing diagnostic maintenance. Then I will search for it. Just see here. I'm searching the Science Direct, a platform of Elsevier, which you can search free of charge, but all the articles you may not get access at all. But for having been the member of VTU Consortia, some of the journals, if the article is from a journal which is covered by VTU Consortia, probably you may get the full text. Otherwise, also I told you about the open access things. I am searching on diagnostic. It throwed up how many items on diagnostic maintenance. 2,612 items it has thrown up. See, very first item you can see here, download PDF. Whenever you find a PDF link here in the list, it only means that you have access to the full text. Absolutely no problem on that. There are other varieties also you can see here. Subject-wise breakup is there, and so many kinds of things are. This is about Science Direct. You try to explore it. I will not go into too much details of that. Next item I will be taking is on Internet Archive. This is one of the very, I am really admirer of this particular source. Okay, 500 billion pages. Okay, there's so many texts. You can see here, wonderful. I go to advanced search in this. This is this covers libraries, thousands and thousands libraries in the world, which have digitized their content that they have made available. And a single search, you can do that. I'll go to advanced search. I will search for the mechanical engineering itself. Okay. Okay, it's already there. So mechanical engineering, I'm searching. Let's see about that. Okay. Oh, it has thrown up 1,978 items, which are totally copyright free. And there are, out of that, there are so many texts, movies are there, audios are there, images are there, a lot of other things as well. But let me see, try to, whether I can get into the oldest document. Let's me about that. Year wise, I can see here. Subject topics, you can further filter, that's a different matter. I'll go for this one. You can see here, it has gone back to 1921. I may go further back probably. You can see here 1866, 1861, and 1847, for example, 1847, more than 150 years back or so. See, I'll click onto this. I'll search only these 16 items of 1867. Let's me what mechanical engineering books they had, or articles they had, or some other stuff they had. See, these are the ones. I could get some 3 items. You can see here, I will click one of the item. There's practical railway engineering example, American Libraries collection actually. There is California Digital Library, some item is there. Let me click on to one of them. Okay. You can see here, you can see, read the document. You can make it a little bit bigger size, and then you can increase the size of the letters for reading purpose or anything of that kind. It has a lot of flexibility. You can even flip the pages. You can see here I'm flipping the pages. Wonderful facility. And much more than that is you can make the system to read it loudly for you. Now I will read it for you.
Required for the railway, which need the careful attention of the engineer. These deviations constitute the curves and gradients, and the width of surface is determined by the intended gauge of the line and slopes of its cuttings and embankments.
It's a facility with Internet Archive. Very interestingly, you can whatever book you want, you can make it, open it and make it to read for you people. You can go on enjoying the reading. Okay. Now I will go for which one? ASME. Okay, I will go for ASME. What's the time now? Oh, hardly there is 10 minutes. I am sorry. Dr. Gurupavan, can I extend it by another 10 minutes or so?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Your session is up to 1:30. Still, there is a time, sir.
How much time is there for me?
Still 10 minutes is there, sir. You can continue.
10 minutes is fine, but 10 minutes may not be enough because there could be some questions as well. I can as well answer that. Okay, I have come to the ASME digital collection. You can go for advanced search. I will go for advanced search. I will search a topic that is acoustic emission. Acoustic AC, it should be O, I think. Acoustic, yeah, acoustic emission. So when I searched acoustic emission, you can see here there are more than 6,636 items. 6,636 items. So what you can do is, if the full text is available, you can see the full text. Otherwise, you don't have to. You can click onto that. If there is a DOI given, you can happily go to SciHub. See, DOI is given. But interestingly, today I was trying for ASME. Recent papers are not available. Probably when I clicked onto some DOI and copied it onto and pasted onto SciHub, I could find full text of 2017, 2018, something. Recent articles, it said is not yet uploaded. That's what reply I got it. So you have to look into that, and then okay, I will try to show something. These are all the topic collections of ASME. I'm sure you are all a user of this. You should not be a problem at all. So I will cut short this one ASME here itself. You can explore that. That should not be a problem at all. Now I will go to JGate. Okay, JGate Plus. Probably, unfortunately, you don't have access to this. Probably your college people can take a note of that and try to subscribe to this. It's not a very costly database, being in T1. Okay, let's see about that. JGate. Okay, I'll search that. It covers more than 4,000 journals and engineering area. Quite a good number of journals and mechanical engineering as well. So I will go to advanced search in this, and then try to search something on nanoparticles. I will try to search on nanoparticles. You can see whatever topics I'm searching, most of them are covered by one or the other speaker of this particular session. Okay, particular FDP. You can see here when I searched nanoparticles, there are 5,17,000 items. Out of that, 1,18,000 full texts are available. See, if I click onto this, it will list out all those items, and I will go down and try to select mechanical engineering. I did not select the subject. I simply went on doing that. Now I will try to go for mechanical engineering. Let me see if there are any items on mechanical engineering. Environmental engineering. Mechanical engineering. There are more than 7,300 and odd items are there on mechanical engineering with the nanoparticles. So I will apply filters for that. That means it will restrict the title to mechanical engineering and nanomaterials. There are more than 7,000, out of which these many items are available for the full text. Even if you are not subscribing even one journal, then you have access to this on this particular topic. Okay, see here, this is the further breakup of these items. I will go down and try to show you something different, which probably okay, I will see, but sometimes you may get or may not get. That's a different matter. Okay. Now, okay, what I will do is I'm required to show something else to you. So rather, I will select some earlier 2-3 periods, because my purpose here is to show its capability of showing that citation statements. Okay, so I have chosen some earlier period items, 12, 13, and 14. You can see here there are some items on this one. One of the items I will see whether I can get that. Okay. See here, yes. When I clicked onto a particular title, that is heat transfer, film condensation of stationary vapor, something of that kind, along with that, it has given the citation statement. This is not available in any of the database, including Scopus and Web of Science, etc. I told you this is in collaboration with Scite. These people have done that. So apart from that, you can also see the SGR value. That means whenever there is an SGR value for any article, the SGR value is for the journals. That means it talks about the quality of the journal wherein this particular article has been published. So it also gives you an evaluation method of selecting this particular article. If there is any SGR value, that itself is an indication that it's a good item for you to refer. Okay, but you can see here, you can see here 32 citing publications for this particular article. This particular article has been cited by 32 articles. You can, if you click onto that, it will list out all those 32 publications. One of the article is supporting this. That means using the artificial intelligence, they have found that it is supporting this findings of this. And 10 articles have just mentioned there is no contrasting article at all. That means this is a good article for you to refer. You can go ahead with that. In that way, you can make use of JGATE apart from searching the literature. Okay, now I will go to Springer link. I am sorry, I am running SPRINGER, Springer link. Okay, this is the Springer link site. You simply put type Springer link and you are here. So it gives access to so many journals, so many books, and so many things covering all these. In fact, Springer is well-known publisher of books compared to the journals. Elsevier is well-known for journal publishing, and Springer is well-known for journal publishing. Not that Elsevier is poor in book or Springer is in journals. No, both of them are good. But number one is Elsevier. Okay. What I will do is I will search a topic condition monitoring. I'm searching condition monitoring. I'll simply search. See, I didn't specify journal or book or anything like that. I'm searching generally. You can see here there are more than 1.6 million items on condition monitoring in Springer link. What are these? These are articles or chapters or conference paper or something of that kind, book or something of that kind. Okay. Again, down below you got a disciplinized breakup. You can choose the concerned discipline. You can as well do that. I will not do that. I will select the journal articles only. Okay. See. So 1 million items are journal items out of that. See, please be attentive. You can see this particular one. Include preview only content. If I click onto this, it will list out items out of this for which there is no access restriction at all. That means they are all open access, even the Springer content. So out of 1 million, let us see how many are open access. Okay, more than 2 lakh items are available in the open access. So don't you think that we should explore this sort of sources instead of complaining that my college did not give this, my college did not this, my university did not give? You can explore this sort of things as well. Okay, and then you can. If this is the case, you can, if you click onto this, you will have the access to full text access. Otherwise, you can as well because it is open access. You can see here. If I click on, you will have the download PDF is very much there. If you click, you will have the PDF itself. But on the other hand, suppose I'll go back to the other list, earlier list, and you can see here. You can see it is locked. Can you see that it is locked? It is a journal item, but it is locked. So what I would do is I will click onto this, go down, look for the DOI link if it is there. Oh, it will be somewhere probably down below. The publishers are, sometimes they fool us also. They give the DOI link somewhere. Yeah, it is down below, not like Elsevier on the top. A DOI link is there. You just copy this and paste it onto Sci-Hub. You have that. Okay, this is how you can this one. But now I'll go to most important source, which I thought I would give you the demo. I have come to BASE, Bielefeld Academic Search Engine. So what I will do is I will search on some topic and I'll try to restrict the search to the thesis. Okay. The topic I have chosen is diagnostic maintenance. Okay. I will search the title area. Yeah, diagnostic maintenance. In fact, I have already done some experiment before coming to you people. So I have put title. There are different kinds of document you can choose. Okay, you can choose it, or you can search and then you can restrict. You can filter it out whatever way you want. In the initial itself, you can say that I want only the book part. I want only the thesis. Whatever way you can do it, and it has also facility open access only, or content provider, or publication worldwide, or you can restrict it to Indian. You can, if you click onto that, it will list out the different countries or anything of that. You can restrict the period as well. Okay, I will not do that. I will simply go for search. I will not go for any filtering at this level. How many items? There are 407 items are there on diagnostic maintenance. Okay. Now, what I should do is it could be in any language. So if I can't read other language items, so let me restrict the search to the English language items only. Out of that, the 224 are available in English language. So this includes all items, not just general articles, anything of that kind you will find there. Okay, now I am going to show in this the document type. Let's see if there are any thesis. Okay, you can see here. Yeah, thesis and doctoral and postdoctoral thesis are there. Okay, I will click onto this doctoral and postdoctoral PD thesis. How many items are there? Let me see. There are 4 items. There are 4 items. The one of the item is machinery diagnostic techniques for maintenance optimization. Okay, don't you think it is a useful item for you people? Like that, there are other items also. I will not go into that. One of them I will click onto that. Okay, let's see about that. Okay, whether I can get the full text of this particular item. Now it has left the base. It has gone to some other university site. Okay, here is the abstract and full details of that. Okay, you can also download this. You can see here. See, I can happily download the full text. Yes. See, the entire thesis is being downloaded. It runs to about 197 pages. So you can happily store on your local hard disk or something that you can do that. So that's about base. Now I'll go to another source, Merlot online learning. Okay, this is the Merlot system provides access to curated online learning and support materials and the content creation tools. So I will search for some topic. Let me see. Machine vision. I'll search for machine vision. Okay. Simply I'll search for machine vision. Okay. You can see here, there are 367 items on machine vision, covering different types of collections, discipline-wise also. You can see here on the left side, you have different disciplines. And I will choose on science and technology. I'll select 351 items are there on science and technology. Let me see about that. Okay. See, you see here, very first item, probably we can just have a look at it. Okay, you can see here. I will click onto that. Let me see where. Now, it may leave this site and go for some other site as well. So, these are the details about this particular item on machine vision. Now I'll go to the material concerned. Let me see where it will go now. Yes, leaving Merlot, it goes to some other source. Okay, you can see here where it will. Oh yeah, it has come to my MIT Open Courseware. This is how courseware details. You can see the syllabus, you can see the calendar, you can see the readings, you can see the lecture notes. For example, I will click on to the lecture notes. Let's see about that. See, lecture notes you can see here. You can particular lecture, if you click on to that, this particular lecture by so and so, you can happily download and read it. This is the beauty of MIT courseware. Of course, this is being indexed both by MIT Open Courseware as well as Merlot. Last but one, I would like to give demo on DOAJ. I will not do search, but I will only show this site. DOAJ, Director of Open Access Journals. See here, you can select the article searching facility. And when I searched on robotic journals, there were quite a good number of items. I simply searched robotic journals. Robotic joints, okay. Instead of searching all the fields, I'll search only the title field. Let's see, 15 items are there. So if you click onto that, you will do that. You can straightway read it online. Then you can download that items as well. So this is all about DOAJ. The last item probably I'll do is CNKI, Chinese National Knowledge Infrastructure. So this is in Chinese, so I can make it English searching purpose. Of course, the original articles you cannot do that. So I will go for advanced search here also. I will go for machine tool searching itself. Machine tool. Okay. Subjects. I will search is machine tools. MACHINE. Machine. Probably it's a very common topic. It may take some time. Let me try otherwise also. It will list out the journal items, thesis, etc. Let's see. Yeah, it has displayed very quickly. It has done that job. Journal items are there for more than a lakh items, and so many theses are available, and so many conference items are there in CNKI. If I click on to thesis, it will list out only the thesis. Many times you will find the abstracts of the thesis, even though it is in Chinese, you will find it in English. This is the item. You can go to the full text of that. You can see the citations of that. You can read it. You can read it online. If you want to say, I'll try to open that. Let me see. Unfortunately, most of them you will find in Chinese. Yeah, you can see here. Page by, it's 129 page items. Page item, you can see down below other details, references, etc. If you feel that it's of interest to you, because the title you have read in English, sometimes you may find the abstract also in English. You can also go on seeing the page by page items. You can go on seeing it. It should not be a problem at all. You can see that. Okay. Yeah, that's the case. Okay. I thought I would give the demo of Scopus, but I'll not do that. So with that, I would like to put an end for my talk. If there are any questions, I shall be very happy to answer. Okay.
Okay.
Hello.
Thank you, Dr. IRN Gowder, sir, for sharing valuable knowledge on e-resources in engineering sciences. I believe it was very much useful for our participants related to the research work. Thank you very much, sir.
If there are any questions, I shall be very happy to answer.
Yes, participants, if you have any queries related to today's session, you can clear their doubts with the sir.
Any question, doesn't matter. So if there are no questions, should I take it granted that you have understood everything, or you don't have any doubts, or something did not get into your head at all? I was not in a position to put the things much in a better way.
The session was very good, sir, actually.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving your valuable time to us and giving a knowledge about this, sir.
Okay. Thanks a lot. I'm very happy that you gave me an opportunity to deliver a talk, although I'm in some other country now.
Thank you,
In
sir.
fact, this is the second lecture which I delivered after coming here. But anyway, thank you, Dr. Guru Pawan, and my friend Kodandram, and thank the Mechanical Engineering Department, the chair, the principal, and the management of PSC. PSC is one which really I loved in my life for the same simple reason that PSC has a bigger contribution for my personal level as well, because in 2003, my daughter and son-in-law did their PE in electronics and communication, and they are very much here. I am with them in Germany now. So it is the gift of PSC to me from that angle. In that way, I should be thankful to PSC. In fact, this is not the first time I have delivered a number of talks hosted by PSC. So once again, thank you, Dr. Guru Pawan. Thank you very much. Thanks all the participants. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.